Hello and welcome to this demo video. Before we get started, I'd just like to explain to you a few things which will relate to all of the basic range spreadsheets. Number one, there is a key on the intro and setup tab of all of the spreadsheets showing what the different color headers mean. The blue headers mean that the cell's formulated, so it's locked and you can't change it. The yellow headers are where you can input data, and occasionally there might be some gray headers, which is just a different kind of data input, but we'll include instructions as and when that happens. The other thing that you can be aware of is there are ways in which you can damage the spreadsheet. So please do take a look at the link where you see this image, which will take you to a web page to show you how to better preserve your spreadsheet. Please feel free to keep a blank version of the spreadsheet somewhere, so that if you do mess up a spreadsheet that you're using, you can in fact just open a new one, a blank one. And some of the spreadsheets only last for a year, and then you've got a blank one to start the following year. So do keep a blank copy as a backup somewhere. And lastly, wherever you see this image, you can click on it. It'll take you back to the store where you purchased this product to see if you've got anything, any more products. One last thing, to see a demo video, you can click on this on a link that looks like this in order to go to the demo video, but that'll take you to the most recent demo. If in fact we've done upgrades and you're using an older version and you'd like to see the demo relating to your version, then do click on the watch on YouTube link, which will take you to that specific video on YouTube. So I think that's all you need to know. So without further ado, let's move on to this demo video. Thank you.
Hello and welcome to this demo video for the preschool schedule. We don't only make spreadsheets for businesses, we do make some for personal use, and this is actually one that my wife asked me to make because our little one's off to preschool. So we thought, well, instead of us just making one for him, why not make one that other people can use as well? So let me get started on this and show you how it works. Your name will be locked in, that's you as one of the parents. Your name will be locked in there, that's just so we can stop this from being illegally distributed. You can put your child's name in here. Don't worry, if you put your child's name, it doesn't go anywhere other than on the spreadsheet, so it's not connected to the internet or anything like that. Starting month for the year. Essentially, this spreadsheet will last for 1 year, and then you need to start a new one. So keep a blank version of this available so you can save as to start each new year. But really, just select the month from the drop-down list. You'll see you'll have, if you click on that cell, you'll have all the months to choose from. Put in the year of the starting date, and as soon as you put in September in 2019, for example, the date will show there as the 1st of September 2019. If you haven't put in a year, it will be blank. So put in a year, put in a date until it recognizes it as a date. It will show it there, and then that part is done. Opening balance. If you owe any money to the preschool at the beginning of the year from the previous year and you want to carry the balance over, you can put the balance in there. That's the balance that you owe the school. If it's a zero balance starting fresh in the new year, just put in 0. That's fine. Then below here, you can put in the starting date and ending date of all of the holidays. So these aren't the term dates, but these are actually the holiday dates. So if you put in, I'll just put in random dates. I don't even know if those are correct. But if whatever dates you put in, you can put up to 5 different sets of school holidays and just put in the actual dates when those occur. So the first date you put in is the first day of the holidays, and the last date is the last day of the holidays, and it'll start a term from the following day. It will also, don't worry about weekends and things, it'll take those into consideration. I'll show you how all of that works in a second. Then you've got a space here for other bank holidays. You can put in any other bank holidays, not the normal UK holidays. The normal UK holidays, bank holidays will already be taken. But if you're located in Scotland or Northern Ireland or wherever else and you have a different bank holiday, then just put those unique bank holidays down here. If you're not sure when the bank holidays, which bank holidays it's taken, if you actually click on the schedule tab and you scroll down, you'll see the bank holidays will show up in pink. So for argument's sake, there's a bank holiday, Christmas Day and New Year's Day. So you can go through and just check and see if they're all right. So any other bank holidays other than the usual, put them in. Now there's one thing you need to just be aware of in the start date and end date for the holidays and the bank holidays. When you're typing in Excel, if you, for example, you type in the 3rd of August and we're in 2019, it'll automatically use 3rd of August 2019. So you want to just make sure, if you're starting in 2019, in September, the spreadsheet's going to go from September 2019 over to the end of August 2020. So if the holiday is in August, you need to make sure you put 2020 and 2019. So just be aware of that when you're entering the holidays and the bank holidays. Yeah, just be aware that you've got the correct year. Because I know when I was setting this up, but for argument's sake, when I put this holiday in the first time, I didn't put the year in, and it took it as 2019, and then it didn't show on the schedule because it should have actually been 2020. Just be careful with the years when you're filling in the holiday dates and the bank holidays. Lastly, you can go over here and you can say if the school's closed. I know our school's always closed on the Thursday, so I've just marked as closed on the Thursday, open the other days. If they're open 5 days a week, just put them in as open for 5 days. To do that, you just select, and you can select which one you want, open or closed. Now that's the setup. That's what you do at the beginning. If you want a demo video, you can go here. This will take you to the website, and below will be a link to the demo video on YouTube. It should be the same video. That is it. That's the setup. Once you've set this up, you're ready to go. So as I said, keep a blank version. Set this up each year for the new year. There's a little bit more that you need to set up, but that depends on what you want available. So here are the rates. So what I've done here, that these are types of days. There are 12 different options. The reason I've got a color here is just to show what color is going to represent them on the graph in case you want to put them next to specific colors. That's just for you. But what I would suggest doing is the type of session. So for argument's sake, we've got an hour session or a half day or a full day excluding lunch or a full day including lunch. So really, you can put whatever options you want down here. There are the different options that your child may actually use, because you might have a half day on a Wednesday and a full day excluding lunch on a Friday and a full day including lunch on a Wednesday, whatever. So all the different options that you could have, put the different types. Make sure you don't have any duplicates. You don't want to have duplicate type names there. They'll change. They'll turn to red to warn you. So don't have any duplicates. And then put the price next to the type, the relevant price for each type, and the relevant amount of time. So if it's 1 hour, put it in as 1 with a colon 00. Don't put 1.00. It's not going to work. So you want to type in as 1 hour, 1, and then the minutes. And really, that's just the time that each of these sessions represents. That's just for the graphs and things. The only other thing you need to do on here before we scroll down to the pre-scheduler is every time you make a payment, and I'm not talking about previous years, I'm talking about the current year, just put in a date and the payment amount. And what that will do is it'll tally up the total paid. It'll then take the opening balance into account along with all the entries to it. So basically what it says is to date you have to pay this, and then all the entries in the year, how much that is going to cost. At the moment they're the same because I haven't added the year entries. Now, all you need to do now is that's completely set up. You've got your types, your price, your time, and dates and payments and all this. So these ones you put in as you go along. But now what you do is you want to schedule what's going on. Now, as you can see, it's already the 2nd of September 2019 on today's date. So I've put in, we did an hour session, and it's a tick. That tick basically just says that this we have already arrived at this date, so that's just confirmed that is in fact correct. If I put in something for tomorrow, for example, say a half day, that will show up a question mark because we haven't actually got there yet. So you can schedule things ahead. It will put the prices and what have you. And then obviously as you get to those days, that'll automatically change to a green tick, assuming that you've done what you said you were going to do there. So if you get to the day and it's not right, just change it. So if instead of an hour, you went for half day, you can just change it. Or if you didn't go at all, you can actually just remove it, and you can move it. So that's how that works. But now let's just say, and what I've done is I've done this in order to help you to do this quite quickly. Obviously here we've got a complete blank year, and now we need to fill in. So let's just say your child is due to go every Monday and every Friday. What you can do is you can go to the types and rates and payments tab, and you can go Monday, they're due to go for a half day. And let's just say, for argument's sake, on Friday, they will go for a full day, including lunch. Let's just say that's, for example, how it's going to work. You can obviously, there is a thing to send them a Saturday and Sunday, but obviously you just need to make sure that the play group is open. I've left bank holiday Saturday and Sundays just in case there's an odd time where you actually can schedule something, but I'm assuming you probably won't use those 3. It's really just the first sheet that you'll be doing. So there are the options that will show here are the options that you've included in your different types at the top here. That will be your half day, full day. Now what you do is you go to the schedule, and what it's done now is it's put in here all the days for half day, full day, as I've suggested. If we scroll down to where we can find a bank holiday, that's on a Wednesday, that's Christmas, New Year, doesn't help. Let's scroll down to find Easter, and we can show you what would have happened. There you go. There's a Friday and a Monday bank holiday. So he's not listed as going those days because they're bank holidays. So it'll exclude bank holidays. It'll exclude days when the nursery or preschool is closed, and it will exclude bank holidays. If you scroll down to the bottom, we'll see there. So not bank holidays, school holidays. They're the school holidays. It won't schedule them in those days, but any other day that you said that they will need to be there, it's pre-scheduled everything. So now what you do, and this is where you've got to be careful. As you can see, this says hour session here, but you didn't schedule an hour session. But because this day has already been and there's a tick there, it will take what's actually happened. So if you were to do this, say, halfway through the year and the sessions change, it won't affect what's already been done. It'll only affect the days that you haven't reached yet. So then what you do is you just go and you highlight that column, copy, and then you come here, not paste, never normal paste, because you see there the colors disappear, you're messing with the formatting. Do the paste values, click paste values, and now you can see it's got all the pre-scheduled dates in. Now you can go and you can say, well, actually this week we're going on holiday, so we want to take that out there and we want to take that out there. So you can go and you know, edit on a finer, let's put those back, on a finer kind of scale, on a day-by-day thing. You can go through and manually edit that. So this is really just to get these in for the first time. As I said, if you get halfway through the year and you want to change the days, for example, from a Friday to for the Thursday, as an example, all the ones that have already been, i.e. the ones with the green tick next to them, will stay in place. They'll just appear across here, and all the other ones will be new. You'll see the new ones, and you can copy this whole thing again and paste values across. Just make sure that you start at the top and paste it properly so you get them all on the right line. These prices and times will adjust accordingly as per the types and rates prices. If a price changes mid-year, you're going to have to make a new entry for the new price. Just name it something different, maybe new full day excluding lunch or something like that, and then reschedule it, because you can't this price, if you change it here, it will change throughout the entire schedule, all the previous ones as well. So now, because you scheduled in those days, you can see, obviously, if you go back here, entries for all year, that's what it's going to cost throughout the entire year based on what's happening to date, so much, £10. And obviously, as the spreadsheet reaches these days, these will then become confirmed and will add to the to-date value rather than the all entries in a year. That's for everything. This is just what we've done to date. And that's really all. Lastly, this tab, the next tab, the report tab, is automatically generated. And what this does is it shows a breakdown of the full year, of which this is a breakdown by finances, and this is a breakdown by time. The full year, which actual sessions are making up the finance and which sessions are making up the time. Now, as you can see, there's a half hour session done and hour session planned. The darker colors are the ones that are actually done. The lighter colors are planned. So far, the dark one is the red. We've done that. The light ones are all still planned and not actually confirmed yet until we get to those days. You can see a monthly breakdown, which is exactly the same, but it shows you per month where your money's been spent firstly on which sessions, and where your time breakdown is for which sessions. And then you can scroll down and you can see the cost. So far, that's the cost that we've already used. That's the planned cost that we should be using by the end of the year. And then as you make payments, it fills up at the bottom. And you can scroll down, you can see a financial breakdown and time breakdown as well per day of the week. So you can see when they're doing which particular session. So that's just a report for you that all generates as you go along. You've got your schedule, that's your current owing to date. So really, if you, for example, if we were to go in today on the 2nd of September and make a payment of £10. Then we go back to the schedule and you see it's 0 outstanding because you paid everything to date. When we go to the report, you'll see that £10 will now appear there as paid against what's owing, and that's what we can expect to come in. So that's really just report, quite a involved spreadsheet that does a lot, shows you a lot. Just remember the biggest thing at the moment is when you're copying and pasting these in here, I would use this to set it up, and only if there's a major change, make the changes and copy and paste. But remember, always paste values, and if you want to then make different edits to different days over here. One last thing. Extra money and reason. This is just a column. For example, I know sometimes the schools will throw a bit of a spanner in the works. Maybe they'll get a visitor in, or they'll have an outing or something like that. Let's just say they bring a visitor in to come and I don't know, talk to the kids about something on the day that they're there, and they would say they need to charge you £2. If you go to the day when that visitor is supposed to come in, say £2, and just put in visiting speaker or whatever it might be, so you know that £2 will then get added to the price, and it will filter through to the report and everything, just to keep track of, you know, there's extra expenses. If it's a regular thing, like every single time for lunch or something like that, then as I've done, make a different type, full day, like excluding lunch, full day including lunch, so you can just select the different ones rather than adding them all in here. It gets a bit finicky when you're doing that. What I would suggest these ones for are really just exceptions to the rule. So the odd thing that may happen, if it's going to happen regularly, I would put it in as a different type of day. So I think that all makes sense. I hope that it works for you, and if you are sending your little ones off to preschool, I hope that you're not as nervous about it as I've been, and that everything goes well. I'm sure it will do. Yeah, and I hope that this spreadsheet serves you well if you have in fact purchased it. Thank you very much, and goodbye.